Your Year 4 child breathes about 20,000 times a day and never has to think about it. But MPT4 wants them to explain how it actually works. So today, let's break it down together. Plain English, no textbook jargon, no exam anxiety. We're going to go through this in 3 parts, the same way MPT4 likes to test it. First, the organs involved. Second, how the breathing process actually works. And third, breathing rate and why it changes. Let's start with the organs. When your child breathes in, air enters through the nose. From there, it travels down a tube in the neck. Think of it like a straw carrying air down to the chest. That tube leads to the lungs. The lungs are the 2 main organs of breathing. You can picture them like 2 balloons sitting inside the chest, ready to fill up with air and let it back out. So the path is simple. Nose, then the tube down the neck, then the lungs. That's the journey air takes every single time your child breathes in. Now let's talk about the process, what actually happens during breathing. When your child breathes in, the lungs fill up with air, like a balloon expanding. The chest rises. That air carries oxygen, which the body needs to work properly. When your child breathes out, the lungs squeeze the air back out, like a balloon deflating. The chest falls. This is where MPT4 likes to test something specific, not just naming the parts, but putting the steps in the right order. Air in through the nose, down the tube, into the lungs, lungs expand. Then lungs squeeze, air moves back up the tube, and out through the nose. If your child can explain that sequence in order, they've got exactly what MPT4 is looking for. Now, the third part, breathing rate. Breathing rate simply means how many breaths your child takes in 1 minute. And here's the interesting part. That number doesn't stay the same all day. When your child is sitting quietly, reading, or watching TV, their breathing rate is low and steady. But after running around, playing, or exercising, their breathing rate goes up. They breathe faster. Why does that happen? Because when the body is active, it needs more oxygen to keep going. So the lungs work harder and faster to bring in more air. This is exactly the kind of question MPT4 loves to ask. Not just what breathing rate is, but why it changes. Here's something simple you can do at home tonight. Have your child sit quietly for 1 minute and count how many breaths they take. Write the number down. Then have them do 20 jumping jacks and count again for 1 minute. Compare the 2 numbers. That's it. That's a real science experiment right in your living room, and it's exactly the kind of thinking MPT4 wants to see. So let's recap. 3 parts: the organs, nose, tube, lungs. The process: breathing in fills the lungs, breathing out empties them. And breathing rate: how fast we breathe and why it changes with activity.
I'll be uploading a few short videos soon with MPT4 style questions on breathing. These are written in the same style and difficulty as MPT4, but they are not taken from any workbook. That way your child gets real practice without simply repeating questions they may have already seen at school or in tuition. In the next full video, we'll build on this and look at another Year 4 topic in the same way, step by step, in plain English, with no pressure. See you there.